show on the schedule tonight, and on Saturday there are post-game fireworks. Now the forecast from the National Weather Service heading into the weekend: cloudy today, high near 60 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, then gradual clearing, lows in the mid-40s. For Saturday, sunny and nice, a high near 75 degrees. Increasing clouds Saturday night, lows in the mid-50s. And Sunday, sunny and warm with highs in the low 80s. Headlines, presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton, now part of Brown University Health. The future is bright at Morton Hospital, now proudly part of Brown University Health. This change welcomes a new chapter for our community, one where Morton is empowered to
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Morton can continue to provide the trusted care you depend on, supported by leading science and licensed way. Still local.
Ow. All right.
Morton Hospital is now part of Brown University Health.
Jeez, okay, would be helpful. Yeah. Worked. Okay, there we go. 140. Here we go. Okay.
WVCF is your hometown radio station. And one of the things I would like to do to support people in
Perfect.
your
That's
hometown
great.
is to run community announcements. If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address.
All right.
It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get right back to you if we have a question. Send your community announcements to WVBF1530@hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530@hotmail.com. Thank you for listening. Your hometown radio station is AM 1530, WVBF, and 99.7 FM.
$305.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
It's time for Hometown Talk on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station. Our phone lines are now open at 508-822-1106.
And good morning and welcome to Hometown Talk. It is the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 15th of May, 2026. We got a great show for you today, a great show planned. I'm going to talk about all sorts of different events happening in and around Taunton and Middleborough as well. And we got our transportation topic, something that was given to me yesterday by Paul Azaro, which I'm going to read a little bit off of that. Also, during our transportation topic, I'm going to talk a little bit about my journeys on Wednesday. My dad and I talk a little bit about that on Wednesday, and also kind of mixed in there is a little bit of a food recommendation too for everybody. We'll do that as well. And of course, we'll do some sports as well, and also some other things mixed in here as well. Some things that kind of wrapping up here. I've talked about before, but haven't finished talking about a couple things on that agenda as well. No guests today. Looking to have guests next week. Looking to have a guest next week, the week after, and also on June the 5th as well. Of course, that's the first Friday of the month. That would be Eric as well. So that's coming up on the first Friday of next month, June the 5th, 2026. That's coming up over the next couple of weeks. I also have some other guests as well that I'm planning on having on over the next couple of weeks. But today, no guests planned on the show today. So your phone calls, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you want to call in, talk about whatever is on your mind this morning. Now, it is currently, we'll start with our weather here on the show today. Currently 54 degrees and cloudy skies today, and that's kind of going to be the case the entire day. The clouds will stick around. Wind is not that bad. No, next to no wind there, a little bit, but it's pretty nice outside of it not being sunny. It will get into the 60s today. A low of 45 tonight. Tomorrow, the temperatures start to rise, and they rise pretty quickly here. 74 degrees. Saturday is clear, a low of 46. Sunday is going to be a little bit of a warmer night as well, which is great because it's been cold over the past many nights over this month. But it's starting to warm up, which means warmer night, which is always a good thing. 82 in Taunton on Sunday with a low of 57. Then you have 78 on Monday, 87 on Tuesday, but a warm night as well. So if you have air conditioning, and you might want to put that on Wednesday night because it might be a little uncomfortable sleeping. Maybe not, but it might be a little bit. It's going to be in the mid 60s on Wednesday night with a high of 85 on Wednesday. So, and then the temperatures go down again a little bit to end the week, but a very nice first half of the week with several days hitting the 80s and a couple of days they're hitting the mid 80s. So very nice weather for sure in Taunton. Middleborough, same thing, 54 degrees right now, cloudy, high of 62, low of 46, cloudy all day today as well. So that is your weather. That's your update on the weather here. So, coming up is Memorial Day. That is going to be coming up not this upcoming Monday, but the following Monday, May the 25th. And in Middleborough, every Memorial Day, there is a parade, and veterans are invited to participate in the Middleborough Memorial Day Parade. It's part of the observance of the day on May 25th. All veterans who want to walk or ride in the parade should meet at Town Hall at 9:30 a.m. The parade will step off at 10 a.m. from the Middleborough Town Hall parking lot. The procession will take a right onto Union Street, right on Nickerson Avenue, left on South Main, then left on Center Street to Everett Square, left on High Street, left on Oak Street, a right on Center, and a right onto South Main. A ceremony will follow with the theme of celebrating America's 250th anniversary. In case of rain, the parade will be canceled and a ceremony will move indoors to the Town Hall Ballroom. So that is what will be happening there here for Memorial Day. So that is what's going on there. I mentioned on Monday that there was going to be a town meeting in Middleborough. Not town meeting, a board of selectmen meeting. There we go. Board of selectmen meeting. Town meeting is coming up in June. But a selectmen meeting, and it was going to be a very important one. Going to Damascus Week this past Monday, a $109 million Middleborough budget was approved by the select board. It will now go to town meeting, which again, that'll happen on June 1st. The select board members approved a final budget of $109.4 million on their May 11th meeting, the latest step in a lengthy budget process for the town of Middleborough. The budget, with the exact figure of $109,445,314, includes a number of cuts made to offset what was a $3.5 million shortfall. Jobs that will be lost include 5 civilian dispatchers for the fire department, 4 police officers, and the facilities manager position. The media department has also been eliminated. Interim town manager Joseph Perkins did share some positive news at the meeting. The town received an additional $272,000 in state aid, which allowed the land steward position to be restored. That is very good news there. That was one of several changes on the budget due to the added funds, Perkins said. Other items returned to the budget after state aid include $45,000 to the snow and ice account, restoration of select board's administrative assistant to a full-time $100,000 to cut schools to offset a previous $100,000 to the schools to offset a previous cut of $400,000 and $42,000 to the unemployment account. The previously announced cut of the land steward had been questioned by residents and the land steward himself and select board members as well. The position maintains town conservation property, including keeping trails clear, and oversees the town's community gardens at Pecone Farm as well, among other duties. Residents noted that the town conservation properties are regularly used by the community. And then the final budget, that will go before the voters at town meeting, again, June the 1st. June 1st, that is coming up very quickly here over the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be talking about that, I'm sure, over the next few weeks. But what are your thoughts? 508-822-1106 if you're in Middleborough. What is your thoughts on that? That is an article there from Nemasket Week. But give us a call, 508-822-1106. Let us know what your thoughts on this budget being approved and what your thoughts are on that. And we will see what happens on the June 1st Middleborough Town Meeting. All right, it's 9:20 a.m. Let's take our first commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have more news stories to talk about. But let's take our first commercial break right now. We'll be right back here on Hometown Talk. There we go. Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. I am Joey Driscoll. This is WVPF. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to do one commercial. Excuse me. 461. Okay.
1 in 10 people age 50 and older in the U.S. have early age-related macular degeneration.
Because macular degeneration often has no early symptoms, many don't know they have it until irreversible vision loss has already occurred. Well, when I first found out that I had macular degeneration, it was really scary. I mean, my eyes are my living.
What's most important for me to see my family, my loved ones, my pickleball game, everything I do is dependent upon my vision.
Being able to see, be able to spend time with my children, be able to travel is extremely important. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have my vision. Don't miss life's most beautiful moments.
Schedule a comprehensive eye exam to protect your sight.
Macular Degeneration Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Go to stopamd.org to learn more.
268.
Voices of Our Region is a live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped southeastern Massachusetts. It's hosted by Louis Laura Fridays and airs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at AM 1530 and 99.7 FM WBBF. Join Louis for some great hometown conversations, stories, and interviews with people about the traditions that continue to define our area. That's Voices of Our Region with Louis Laura from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on your hometown radio station, WBBF.
And we're back here on Hometown Talk. It's the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. Now, we have another big story here to mention as well from the Middleborough Board of Selectmen meeting on the 11th of May. Another thing that was talked about on that meeting was there was a committee selected completed with 3 names added on that meeting. And it is a committee tasked with helping to select the next town manager. And those names have been chosen for the members who will be on that committee. And this is to, again, find a new town manager. Of course, James McGrail, or Jay McGrail, left Middleborough in March to take a job in Harwich. Currently, the interim town manager is former Chief of Police Joseph Perkins. So this committee will be looking into who would be the best candidates and the best candidate to be the next town manager in Middleborough. So that committee has been chosen, but the select board members at their May 11th meeting has selected 3 at-large positions to add to the 5 members already chosen. The newly named at-large search committee members are as follows: Nancy Kafalis, Ed Medeiros, and McDonald Sprague. The original plan was to add 2 at-large candidates, but when the board members' final selection came up to a 3-way tie, they agreed to expand the board to 8. Kafalis is a member of the planning and zoning boards. Medeiros has served on a variety of town boards as well, including the fire station building committee, public works building committee, zoning board, and also has served as planning board chair. And Sprague, who owns his own business as well in town. The newly selected at-large candidates will join the 5 previously chosen select board members that were selected by the select board. This was John Barella, Finance Committee member, Joseph Mandeli, a recently retired town planner, Randy Gagne, the former Middleborough Library Director, John Burbage, the president of Oak Point Homeowners Scholarship Fund, and Emily Surratt, a management analyst for the town of Lakeville. And again, as I mentioned, this committee will work with the consultant Municipal Resources Inc. to bring the top contenders for a town manager to the select board, which again will make that final decision. So it's going to take a little bit of time. There's no timeline as to when that will be chosen, but it's already in the works, as this article indicates here. So there you go. That is from the Mascot Week there. I wanted to mention that is a big story, as it's been mentioned several times here on WVBF. The Middleborough Town Manager Search is a big story in Middleborough. A lot of big things happening in Middleborough there. Those two stories are obviously the biggest ones there. All right, at 9:28 a.m., we're getting close to the Town Hall News, 9:30 break, Town Hall News. Coming up after the news, we'll have more big events to talk about as well. There are several Memorial Day events to talk about. There will be flagging happening at cemeteries around the area. They'll be doing it in Middleborough this weekend. They're going to do it also in Taunton as well. We'll talk about that. We'll do a segment on that. And we're going to be talking about many different things as well. Your phone calls, 508-822-1106. I'm going to play a clip. This is from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. That's coming up after the news. We'll be playing that clip. It's about a 3-minute clip. It's about immigration. But I'm going to play it and get everyone's thoughts on that at 508-822-1106. That's coming up after the break here. So stay tuned for that. But let's take our news break now. When we come back, we'll have all that and more and your phone calls here on Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. I am Joey Driscoll. We will be right back.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rick Thomason. U.S. support for Taiwan and China's claim on the self-governed island democracy proving a major sticking point in talks between President Trump and Chinese President Xi at their summit in Beijing. Mr. Trump aboard Air Force One, heading back home.
On Taiwan, he does not want to see a fight for independence because that would be a very strong confrontation. And I heard him out. I didn't make a comment on it. I heard him out. I have a lot of respect for him.
Mr. Trump says he has not decided whether to allow a major American arms sale to Taiwan to go through. Overall, the president says he is pleased with the way the summit went.
We had a great stay. It was an amazing period of time. President Xi's an incredible guy. Got along, made a lot of great trade deals, including over 200 planes for Boeing with a promise of 750 planes.
Mr. Trump says China is also committed to buying American soybeans. President adds he's looking forward to welcoming his Chinese counterpart to Washington in the fall. The death toll in a Russian attack on a Kiev apartment building has reached 24.
Russia has attacked Ukraine with large-scale air attacks in the days following a ceasefire between May 9th and the 11th, which was something U.S. President Donald Trump had said he had asked Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin to observe.
Correspondent Samia Kulab. New U.S. House districts in Florida are facing their first test in court. A judge is set to hear arguments on a request to block the new Republican-friendly districts from being used in the upcoming midterm elections. Out of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow futures are down 460 points. NASDAQ futures off 503 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted, it works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
A series of commemorative stamps honors the Republic's milestone birthday.
The U.S. Postal Service has released special edition stamps featuring the bald eagle for America's 250th birthday. The stamps depict the eagle across 5 life stages, from hatchling to adult. They're available for immediate purchase. The eagle has long symbolized American values like strength, freedom, and independence, but it's also considered a major conservation success story. In the mid-1900s, eagles nearly vanished due to pesticide poisoning. A 1972 ban on the chemical helped their recovery. I'm Mike Hempel.
Cuban and American officials say CIA Director John Ratcliffe has met with high-level Cuban officials, including Raul Castro's grandson, during a visit to the island. Ratcliffe discussed intelligence cooperation, economic stability, and security issues. News and analysis at townhall.com. A sacred piece of 9/11 steel is making its way across the country ahead of the 25th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attack at the World Trade Center in New York City. The tour is sponsored by the nonprofit organization Tunnel to Towers. Correspondent Laura Winters reports from one of the first of 35 stops across the country.
A moving ceremony here in Atlanta as the 16,000-pound steel beam recovered from the South Tower of the World Trade Center arrives on a truck. Dan Leone with Tunnel to Towers says this beam symbolizes lives lost in the terrorist attack and the resilience of our country.
It's considered sacred because the bodies were never recovered. So it's literally a graveyard. It's important to the foundation, and it's very moving to see it and to be able to be a part of it.
Laura Winters, Atlanta.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Oh. Okay. Might have to use this. See if this works. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, it's this one. Bill. That would be correctly. Okay. Try this now. Try this now. Okay. It'd be helpful if we did it correctly. Okay, anyway. I'll get to that here. Here you go. That was words there from Ronald Reagan here. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, about a 45-second commercial break, and we'll reset here. And then we will have your 822-1106. We'll be right back.
Hey, restaurants, when it comes to great food and in-house operations, you got it down to a science. But when it comes to online marketing, ordering, and delivery, Devour Now has got you covered. Devour Now has 0% commission, no setup costs, and the delivery solution you've been hoping for. Go to getdevournow.com to request a demo and to get started today. That's getdevournow.com. Commission-free online marketing, ordering, and delivery.
No, that's not what I want at all. There we go. Perfect. All right, we're back. As I turn down the bumper music, there we go. Found the button to turn that down. There we go. All right, it is 9:40 a.m. here, and what was your thoughts on that clip there from Ronald Reagan, his last speech there as President of the United States, talking about immigration there? And the importance there. And some of the important words that he had there. What are your thoughts there? 508-822-1106. 508-822-1106. Your thoughts on that. All right, 9:40 a.m. here. Coming up, we'll probably do this in the second hour. We'll do a sports segment in the second hour. We'll do our transportation probably also in the second hour as well. Also, your phone calls if you call in too. Talk about whatever is on your mind and whatever we've so far talked about in the show today. But yeah, let's move on to our next big story here. And this is in Lakeville now. There's a couple of big things happening in Lakeville. First one is that the voters will go to the polls coming up on May 19th. And this is going to be for an override vote. Lakeville voters will head to the polls on Tuesday, the 19th of May. This is to decide whether to approve a Proposition 2.5 override that would boost the town's budget. Approving the override, which allows town to spend beyond state mandated limits, would keep town and school services roughly at their current staffing and service levels. The town administrator, Andrew Sukthorth, said passing an override would bring the town's overall budget, including the Freetown Lakeville School District, to an approximate a number of $40,566,129. Without an override, budget would decrease to $38,640,207. With a failed override, the schools will be hard hit with a potential loss of 50 positions and various programs, school officials have said. Their financial increases are mainly contributed to staffing, health insurance, and computer replacement and fire suppression upgrade costs. School officials have said they also cite changes in state aid and use of leftover funds from the current budget. as reasons for the district's budget challenges. The town may also lose its vacant town planner position and be forced to make the assistant town collector and assessor posts part-time or vacant. The human resources director and assistant town accountant are scheduled to have reduced hours without the override as well. And we've talked about budget issues. We just had a story earlier on in the hour about Middleborough. Of course, it's happening there in Lakeville. It's happening in many communities, but budget woes are affecting many communities. Also, costs of health insurance and pensions have skyrocketed, Suitforth said. State aid, he noted, doesn't keep up with inflation. New growth, such as industrial development, is falling off a cliff, he said. While growth was never particularly strong given the town's rural nature, this year is the worst in 25 years. And to ensure funding levels remain steady beyond next year, the override is being presented in 3-year increments. The town is seeking different amounts each year the override passes. The first year would add $2.6 million to the budget. Voters will be asked to support $1.3 million in the second year and $1 million in the third. Based on an average home value of $625,000, this would translate to an estimated tax increase of $525 for the first year, $256 for the second, and $194 for the third. That's a total of just under $1,000. This article goes on a little bit more. If you want to read the rest of this article, it is on Nebraska Week. But what is your thoughts? A lot of budget issues, and as mentioned here several times in the show already today, a lot of budget issues in towns around this area, Middleborough, Lakeville, and several more too. But what is your thoughts on all of that? If you're in Lakeville, what are your thoughts on the override? What is your thoughts on the vote? That's coming up this Tuesday, May 19th here as well. Give me a call, 508-822-1106 is the number. Now let's switch over to Hometown Heroes banners and also some other stuff relating to Memorial Day as well. The city of Taunton needs help in placing flags on veterans' graves for Memorial Day. The schedule for the flagging will include Mayflower Hill Cemetery. Meet at the small building by the flagpole, and this is off of the Broadway entrance. That's going to be tomorrow, May 16th. It starts at 9 a.m. Rain date would be the next day at the same time, Sunday, May 17th at 9 a.m. St. Joseph Cemetery, meet at the Green Building at the center of the cemetery. Monday, May 19th, starting at 11 a.m. Tuesday, May 19th, starting at 9 a.m. Rain date would be Wednesday, the 20th of May at 9 a.m. Maps, printouts, and other materials will be furnished to assist in the flagging. Volunteers can sign up for updates by sending an email to tauntonvetflagging@gmail.com, or you can call Pete Thompson, Veterans Graves Officer, at 508-685-3979. Again, that email is tauntonvetflagging@gmail.com, and the number again is 508-685-3979. That is Pete Thompson, the Veterans Graves Officer. So that is a very important event coming up. Needing volunteers for that as well. Also, an event that needs volunteers happening in Middleborough, and that's happening tomorrow. Volunteers will hang Hometown Heroes banners starting at 9 a.m. This is coming up tomorrow at the Town Hall in Middleborough. The event is happening on Armed Forces Day. The banners will be placed at various locations throughout town. Each banner bears the name and service information of a local veteran. This will be the town's 4th year participating in the program. Banners will remain in place through the summer. For more information, you can call the Middleborough Veterans Office, which is at 508-946-2407. Again, that's 508-946-2407. So that's an event that's coming up tomorrow as well. Now, one of the things that I talked about a couple of times this past week was Dairy Queen in Middleborough. They now have a new owner. We talked about that several times this week. And the fact also that the Dairy Queen in Middleborough is the second highest in the country based on foot traffic. And I was going to look at what was number one. Well, I looked at that this week as well. And I did find that. We're going to talk a little bit about that after this next commercial break. So stay tuned for that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We will be right back. It is 9:50 a.m. I am Joey Driscoll. This is Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. We'll be right back after this commercial break. 1:10 a.m. 1:10. Okay, so we got now 2:42 p.m. 2:42. 2:42 p.m. 2:42 cut number.
Matthew Mission Food Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life. In a few short years, they have given more than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need at the north door of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green, and are available to anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. Please consider a donation of unexpired, non-perishable food items, grocery store gift cards, or a monetary donation via check to the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, 76 Church Green, Taunton, or by Venmo at Matthew Mission Food Pantry. The Matthew Mission Inc. is a registered 501c3 organization. Thank you.
The Matthew Mission Food Pantry is now open the second and fourth Saturdays of the month at 76 Church Green in Taunton.
Voices of Our Region is a live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped southeastern Massachusetts. It's hosted by Louie Laura Fridays and airs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at AM 1530 and 99.7 FM WBBF. Join Louie for some great hometown conversations, stories, and interviews with people about the traditions that continue to define our area. That's Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on your hometown radio station, WBBF.
Okay, we are back here on Hometown Talk. It is 9:52 a.m. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106 is the number. Now, I mentioned a couple times this week about Dairy Queen in Middleborough. It is now going to be under new ownership. Will stay within the family that previously owned it. Will be different owners there as well. That location in Middleborough is a treats only Dairy Queen. That's been open since the 1950s. It's the oldest fast food type restaurant in Middleborough. It is also according to articles as well. The second highest, based on foot traffic, the second highest treats-only Dairy Queen in the country. And also the highest, based on that same metric, in Massachusetts, which is very impressive. Very, very impressive as well. There's not a lot of food type Dairy Queens, I think, in the area. There's one in this general area as well. If anyone knows of any other ones, let me know. I believe it's in Abington or Avon, or I think Abington, I believe. But I don't know of any other ones in the area. But Middleborough is a treats-only one, second highest in the country, first in the state when it comes to foot traffic. The number one spot, I mentioned I was going to try to find information according to the number one spot, and the number one spot, the treat-only Dairy Queen, number one spot in the world. So the number would be the second one. But number one, consistently based on sales and high volume traffic, is the Loveland Dairy Queen. That's in Colorado, Loveland, Colorado, which has held that number one spot for 8 consecutive years. That's the Loveland, Colorado location, East Eisenhower Boulevard, and North Lincoln Avenue. That's a treat-only store. No food there involved. No grilled or fried food involved. It's consistently recognized as the highest selling location in the world. So that is what the number one spot is. So Middleborough being number 2 in the country and in the world, that's pretty impressive stuff. And it's been open for a very long time. Again, new owners will be taking over. That Dairy Queen will remain open and also remain within the family as well. So I'm sure we'll probably have more information on that in the coming weeks, as that starts to take shape. But yeah, there you go. I wanted to mention that. I wanted to kind of finish that topic up because I know that I was mentioning that I was going to try to find that information. The number one top selling spot in America and the world when it comes to Dairy Queen treats only places. So there you go. 9:56 a.m. We got a couple of minutes left in this hour, and we have one commercial break we got to do. So let's take that one commercial break. When we come back, as well, mostly in the second hour, we're going to do some sports in the second hour, and also we're going to talk about some transportation as well in the second hour as well. We have other events to get to and talk about as well. And your phone calls, 508-822-1106. Stay tuned at 11 a.m. for Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura. That's coming up at 11 a.m. this morning. So just about an hour from now. So stay tuned for that coming up in just about an hour. Well, I will be right back after this commercial break. I'm Joey Driscoll. This is Hometown Talk, Friday, May 15th, 2026. Open phone lines today. We'll be right back. One commercial. That's InfoTrack 136.
Don't miss InfoTrack weekdays here on WVBF. InfoTrack is a weekly nationally syndicated public affairs radio show that features interviews with experts discussing topics of real interest to you. InfoTrack strives to present impartial, balanced coverage of every story. I'm your host, Chris Whitting, along with a team of talented reporters and legendary announcer, Charlie Van Dyke. InfoTrack, Saturday mornings at 8:05 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. Here on WVBF AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Enjoy this special preview of the National Day Spotlight coming to WVBF.
Now I
If you are
can
75 years or older
play it
and
now.
suffer from food insecurity, the
Figure out
Simpkins in the
what's
Paul Food Pantry is
going
here to
on
help.
here.
We serve the families of Middleborough, Lakeville, Harvard, and Rochester. Please leave a message on our
Yeah,
pantry
mine's
line at
not,
947-1717. A volunteer will call back to gather some needed information. Obtain your desired list of groceries. These will be collected for you and delivered to
Enjoy
your
this
home
special
free of charge. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Preview of the National Day Spotlight. Enjoy this special preview of the National Day Spotlight coming to WVBF the week of May 18th.
Sometimes protecting one single animal can save an entire landscape from disappearing. Welcome to the National Day Spotlight for May 15th.
On Endangered Species Day, we focus on keystone species, the biological glue that holds an ecosystem together. Keystone species, like the sea otter or the gray wolf, has a disproportionately large effect on its environment compared to its population size. For example, when sea otters were nearly hunted to extinction, the kelp forests they protected were devoured by sea urchins, leading to a total collapse of local fish populations. By placing these specific animals under protection, conservationists aren't just saving a single creature, they are preventing a domino effect that would destroy hundreds of other species. It's a reminder that nature is a finely tuned machine, and removing even one critical care can cause the entire system to stop working. Today, we celebrate the animals that carry the weight of the world.
You know, that's kind of like no different than taking one part out of the engine of your car. It's not going to work anymore.
How come I always have leftover screws though when
Because that's just how life works. We are also celebrating National Chocolate Chip Day and Peace Officers Memorial Day. I'm Alice Anderson.
And I'm Wallow Anderson with the National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
We are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleborough,
Play
Taunton,
32 again
W259DD, Middleborough Center, 99.7 FM, our hometown radio station.
All right. Wow.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rep.
U.S. support for Taiwan and China's claim on the self-governed
Democracy proving a major sticking point in talks between President Trump and Chinese President Xi at their summit in Beijing. Mr. Trump aboard Air Force One, heading back home.
On Taiwan, he does not want to see a fight for independence because we have very strong confrontation. And I heard about I didn't make a comment on that. I have a lot of respect for him.
Mr. Trump says he has not decided whether to allow a major American arms sale to Taiwan to go through. Overall, the president says he is pleased with the way the summit went.
We had a great stay. It was an amazing period of time. President Xi is an incredible guy. Got along, made a lot of great trade deals, including over 200 planes from Boeing with a promise of 750 planes.
Mr. Trump says China is also committed to buying American soybeans. President adds he's looking forward to welcoming his Chinese counterpart to Washington in the fall. The death toll in a Russian attack on a Kiev apartment building has reached 24.
Russia has attacked Ukraine with large-scale air attacks in the days following a ceasefire between May 9th and the 11th, which was something U.S. President Donald Trump had said he had asked Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin to observe.
Correspondent Samia Kulab. New U.S. House districts in Florida are facing their first test in court. State judge is set to hear arguments on a request to block the new Republican-friendly districts from being used in the upcoming midterm elections. Ahead of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow futures are down 460 points. NASDAQ futures off 503 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare has proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted, it works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
A series of commemorative stamps honors the Republic's milestone birthday.
The U.S. Postal Service has released special edition stamps featuring the bald eagle for America's 250th birthday. The stamps depict the eagle across 5 life stages, from hatchling to adult. They're available for immediate purchase. The eagle has long symbolized American values like strength, freedom, and independence, but it's also considered a major conservation success story. In the mid-1900s, eagles nearly vanished due to pesticide poisoning. A 1972 ban on the chemical helped their recovery. I'm Mike Hempen.
Cuban and American officials say CIA Director John Ratcliffe has met with high-level Cuban officials, including Raul Castro's grandson, during a visit to the island. Ratcliffe discussed intelligence cooperation, economic stability, and security issues. News and analysis at townhall.com. A sacred piece of 9/11 steel is making its way across the country ahead of the 25th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attack at the World Trade Center in New York City. The tour is sponsored by the nonprofit organization Tunnel to Towers. Correspondent Laura Winters reports from one of the first of 35 stops across the country.
A moving ceremony here in Atlanta as the 16,000-pound steel beam recovered from the South Tower of the World Trade Center arrives on a truck. Dan DeLeon with Tunnel to Towers says this beam symbolizes lives lost in the terrorist attack and the resilience of our country.
It's considered sacred because the bodies were never recovered. So it's literally a graveyard. It's important to the foundation, and it's very moving to see it and to be able to be a part of it.
Laura Winters, Atlanta.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Good morning. It's time for the latest news in the 9 o'clock hour.
10 o'clock hour.
Headlines presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton. They're now part of Brown University Health. I'm Chris Geach reporting for WVBF News. The city of Taunton is asking for the public's help in placing graves on veterans' sites for Memorial Day. The flagging schedule at Mayflower Hills Cemetery meet at the small building by the flagpole off the Broadway entrance. That's tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. The rain date for that is this Sunday at 9 a.m. At St. Joseph Cemetery, meet at the Green Building in the center of the cemetery on Monday. That's Monday, May 18th, starting at 11 a.m. And then on Tuesday, starting at 9 a.m. The rain date is Wednesday, May 20th at 9 a.m. Maps, printouts, and other materials will be furnished to assist in the flagging. Volunteers can sign up for updates by sending an email to tauntonvetflagging@gmail.com or call Pete Thompson, Veterans Graves Officer, 508-685-3000. 3979. In sports last night, Major League Baseball, Kyle Schwarber hit his Major League leading 18th home run. The Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Boston Red Sox 3-1 at Fenway Park. The Red Sox head to Truist Park in Atlanta. They begin a weekend series with the Braves this evening at 7:15 p.m. In minor league baseball, the Buffalo Bisons held on. They beat the Worcester Red Sox 4-3 last night at Salem Field. And let's see the teams play again tonight in Western New York, 6:05 p.m. And the Brockton Rocks 2026 Frontier League home opener at Campanelli Stadium gets underway this evening, 7 p.m. versus the Ottawa Titans. Tonight's game features a free meet and greet with team co-owner and Red Sox great Jimmy Rice. He's also throwing out the first pitch. There's a drone show on the schedule tonight, and on Saturday, there are post-game fireworks. Now the forecast from the National Weather Service heading into the weekend. Cloudy today, a high near 60 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, then gradual clearing, lows in the mid-40s. For Saturday, sunny and nice, a high near 75 degrees. Increasing clouds Saturday night, lows in the mid-50s. And Sunday, sunny and warm with highs in the low 80s. Headlines, presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton. They're now part of Brown University Health.
The future is bright at Morton Hospital, now proudly part of Brown University Health. This change welcomes a new chapter for our community, one where Morton is empowered to truly shine. As a part of Brown University Health, Morton can continue to provide the trusted care unique science that lights the way. Still equal, now limitless. Morton Hospital is now part of Brown University Health.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Where's 10? There.
It's time
Let's do that on. Let's do this one on Sunday.
1530 and 99.7 FM. Your hometown radio station. Our phone lines are now open at 508-822-1106.
And welcome back. I am Joey Driscoll. This is the second hour now of Hometown Talk. Second hour here on Friday, May the 15th, 2026, as we hit the midway point of May here. And the weather is starting to improve, which is a very good thing. It is a little cloudy out there. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It is a little cloudy out there, but no rain seems to be in the forecast for today, which is great. So that is good to hear. All right, we're back here in the second hour of Hometown Talk. I am Joey Driscoll. Open phone lines, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106 is the number if you want to call in, talk about what is on your mind this morning. So I'm going to do a transportation topic, but I want to get this off of my mind as well. This isn't really a transportation topic. This is more of a food-related topic. So, on Wednesday, my dad and I went to New York City. And we went for a particular reason, a pretty good reason, and that is food. That is food. We went down to New York City on the southwest corner of Houston and Ludlow Streets on the Lower East Side of Manhattan to Katz's Deli. a very good New York sub shop there, delicatessen. I had one of the best hot pastrami sandwiches I have had in my life at Cat's Deli. They are very, very good there as well. Definitely a recommendation for hot pastrami sandwiches at Cat's Deli. They have a lot of history as well, Cat's Deli. Again, located on the lower side of Manhattan, on the east side of Manhattan. You got to take the subway over there. And it's not too far away from the subway station. It's like literally just a couple of 100 feet there, and you're there. About one set of streetlights down the street there from the subway station. Very quick walk, like 2 or 3 minute walk. And a lot of people go there. Each week, Katz serves 15,000 pounds of pastrami, 8,000 pounds of corned beef, and of salami, and of salami as well. About 8,000 pounds of corned beef, 2,000 pounds of salami. There we go. 4,000 hot dogs as well. That is very good as well. A lot. They are very, very interesting as well and very popular. We were talking to a couple of guys from Italy who went there, or were there at the same time. Their first time at Cat's Deli, as was ours. And again, just amazing atmosphere, amazing food, hot pastrami, amazing stuff. Again, as I mentioned, one of the best hot pastrami's I've ever had. Definitely a recommendation if you're going to New York City and you happen to be in the lower east side of New York, in Manhattan. Definitely go to Cat's Deli. Very easy to get to. It's a couple of subway rides from, if you're going for the subway from the train station, Grand Central there. It's a couple of subway rides, about 20 minutes or so. Very easy to get to, and very good food. You will not be disappointed if you go down to Cat's Deli. So that is what I want to mention there. It's not related to transportation. And I wanted to start with that because the trains, now we'll talk about the transportation side of the journey on Wednesday. Pretty good. Again, as I said, getting from Grand Central to Cat's Deli, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Very easy. Getting from Waterbury to New York City, no problem. Getting from New York City to Bridgeport to Waterbury, yeah, that's where we ran into some issues. Now, I don't know what this was all about, but they didn't have, they had a bus, I guess, a connecting bus. And we missed said connecting bus. And they did not relay information well enough, honestly. And things were kind of confusing in Bridgeport. We ended up getting an 8 o'clock or so, 8:30 train out of Bridgeport. Yeah, which, meant we were home at 1 a.m. in the morning. But other than that, it was a very fun trip on Wednesday. Very fun trip. Again, journey itself, next to no issues. The train there on Connecticut Rail there, lots of good for that. Just a little bit of negative there, unfortunately, on the way back. But again, can't, fault them, I guess, too much. I don't know, other than maybe communication should have been a little bit better, in our opinion, in me and Don's opinion. I'll ask Don about that on Sunday, or if he's listening now, call in about that. But very good day on Wednesday in New York City. I wanted to mention that, give you a little bit of a food recommendation there for Cat's Deli. Great place if you're looking for subs, especially if you're looking for a hot pastrami sandwich or roast beef or hot dogs or anything like that. Cat's Deli is the place to go in New York. So there you go. On another topic here that I was talking about this week or last week, a couple of weeks ago, we did a week or two ago now. Don and I did the Downeaster as well, the Downeaster journey for the second time. We wanted to do it again because the first time we didn't give it much of a fair shake. The first time, I don't know what was wrong. Maybe we were tired or not 100%. But this time, the last time we did it, it's most recent time, very much well improved and a very good journey as well. One of the aspects I didn't get to talk about, and I want to talk about right now here, is the stations on the Downeaster as well. And there's a couple of big things going on with some of the stations, especially in Maine, that I want to talk about, are very important if someone is planning or anyone listening out there is planning a Downeaster trip here as well. So let's go over some of the stations here for the Downeaster. Now, first one I want to mention here. We'll mention them all together in order here, and then I'll stop at the one that I want to kind of talk about a little bit more. Actually, there's two I want to talk about a little bit more in detail, and we're going to do that here now. But let's go over the stations here. Obviously, North Station is where the Downeaster starts. TD Garden, 135 Causeway Street. North Station is right there at TD Garden, which is awesome, by the way. Very awesome, very convenient as well. If you're going to a Celtics or Bruins game, just take the train. Again, it starts at TD Garden or North Station, whichever you want to call it. Then Woburn's the first stop at Anderson Regional Transportation Center in Woburn, and then Haverhill after that. There's some really good sites between these stations as well. And once you get into New Hampshire as well, that gets ramped up to 11. That's the sites. I think there's a lot of great sites along the route there. Exeter is after that in New Hampshire. Durham, New Hampshire, at UNH Station, which is right next to the college, UNH College. Dover, in Dover, New Hampshire. Then you get into Maine, and this is the first station I want to kind of take a step back here for a second and talk about more in detail. Wells, Maine, in Wells, Maine there. Reason why I want to talk about a little bit more in detail is there is a lot of construction going on there. A new station building, I believe, is being built there. The Northeastern New England Passenger Rail Authority. They added a 6-mile second track through Wells to allow additional daily Brunswick to Wells round trip train. And that was completed in December of 2024. So that was one of the first big things that they did near Wells. The project also added a second platform and a footbridge to the Wells station. So that's what's happening there. New platform, new station, footbridge. Back and started construction back in March. It's planned to be completed this fall as well. So that is going to be happening there. Also, they got the station there. So there's improvements happening to that station is basically what is happening there at Wells. Then after Wells, the journey continues there. Saco, Old Orchard Beach. Now, Old Orchard Beach, thing to point out with Old Orchard Beach, when we took the Downeaster a couple of weeks ago there, we did not stop at Orchard Beach. It was not open yet. It is a seasonal station located at Old Orchard Beach, which is like right in the downtown of Old Orchard Beach. And there are a lot of great things to see at Old Orchard Beach, by the way, right near the water. And a lot of interesting things. There's a Ferris wheel there. Old Orchard Beach, when you're going to take the Downeaster, Old Orchard Beach is definitely one of those stops where you might want to stop and check out the town. But it is not open yet, apparently, the station. At least it wasn't open when we were on the Downeaster a couple of weeks ago there. Then after Old Orchard Beach, you have Portland, and this is where I'm going to stop again here real quick, go into a little bit more detail. In Portland, there is some things happening with that as well. There is a proposal to relocate the station in Portland to the main line to avoid time-consuming backup moves. And we talked about this. Me and Don talked about this when we talked about the Downeaster as well. A 2-year study that was done by the Maine Department of Transportation endorsed moving Amtrak service from that station to a location near Portland's original Union Station, which was on St. John's Street. A 2024 Amtrak study identified three potential locations that a new station could be at. That is as follows: between Congress Street and Park Ave, the Union Station site, and near the hospital in Portland, Mercy Hospital, south of the Mountain Branch Junction. So we'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of talk about that third option, the Mercy Hospital option there in Portland. So that is interesting as well. And there's, with the Downeaster, we talked about the expansions as well. There's a lot of expansions that are happening, that could be happening or have been talked about in the past here. And the Downeaster, when it comes to that, there's a lot of interesting things to talk about with the Downeaster service on the Amtrak line. And there you go. Wells and Portland, Maine are just two of the big ones to talk about as well. So to finish up here, the next stop is Freeport, and then Brunswick is the terminus of the Downeaster. And Brunswick is a really nice station, very small and very nice station. When you go in there, you got a place where you have all these flyers that they have as well about the town of Brunswick, about the area, about the Downeaster itself, about different kinds of things as well. So that's always a cool thing to see. But the Brunswick station, that's a really nice station and a really nice area as well, Brunswick, Maine. So that is the little bit of Downeaster I wanted to mention there about the stations, at least there. All right, it's 10:26 a.m. Let's take a commercial break. And when we come back, and our news break, we'll take our commercial break and our news break. When we come back, we'll do our sports here in just a couple of minutes. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Paul Lads inviting you to join me Thursday mornings, 9 to 11, here on WVBF AM and FM, the Cranberry Country Journal, still bringing you a slice of life of the people, places, and activities and events that make the Cranberry Country area a special place to call home. Join me Thursday mornings, 9 to 11, Cranberry Country Journal on WVBF.
Voices of Our Region is a live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped southeastern Massachusetts. It's hosted by Louis Laura Fridays and airs from 11 a.m.
Louis,
to
I have a
1
question for you.
Yes, sir.
I was in the lower side of east lower side of Manhattan on Wednesday. I went to Kat's Deli. Have you ever been there?
I know it.
It's so
Yep, I love that place, huh?
awesome.
I love it.
Radio station WBBF.
Hot pastrami, best hot pastrami I've ever had in my life.
Good stuff. Good place. So today I've got Dr. Hannah.
Okay.
I've got 2 or 3 people coming in. You need to be there because you need to work the board, right?
Yes.
So if
We
I
have we can hold that seat up to
and we
here.
have another micro, this works.
That's the host mic. It does not work. No.
Okay.
That one works. That one works. That one works, and we can pull mine up if we need to.
Yeah, and also I can move this one over here, right, and sit over here.
Yes.
So good. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. I gotta wait for my host. Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye, buddy. I love Manhattan.
I love Manhattan too. Yeah.
Oh, you see what Elaine brought in?
What?
Nationally syndicated public affairs radio show.
Ah, yes.
You notice it?
Yes, I know it. Nice.
Strives to present impartial
Smell it? Don't you smell it?
Nice. Yeah.
Apple. You never know. Sometimes it's stagnant this year, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no windows.
Well, that's fine. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's not much ventilation, so we'll spray it every now and then. It's good. Okay.
All right.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
See ya.
Your hometown radio station.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. After 2 days of talks, the Trump-Xi summit is wrapped up in Beijing. Both sides claim progress in stabilizing U.S.-China relations, but differences remain. The status of Taiwan, one of those differences. Still, President Trump said there was a meeting of the minds on Iran.
We've really done some wonderful things, I believe. We did discuss Iran. We feel very similar to Iran. We want that to end. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open. We're closing it now. They closed it, and we closed it on top of them. But we want the streets open.
Mr. Trump says no final decision has been made on a pending American arms sale to Taiwan. He also says the summit produced some major trade deals. Not so long ago, this would have been unthinkable. A CIA director paying a visit to Cuba. John Ratcliffe done just that.
The Cuban state media announced that high-level officials from the Cuban government had met with Ratcliffe, an extremely unusual visit by the head of the CIA to Cuba. The Cuban officials said that they had told the U.S. government that Cuba presented no kind of security threat to the United States whatsoever. Cuba is dealing with the consequences of U.S. sanctions and specifically a very, very serious energy crisis that right now has caused almost a virtual shutdown of the economy because of an absolute lack of fuel now almost, according to the latest reports.
The BBC's Luis Fajardo.
All right,
The
10:30.
Supreme Court has granted women continued access to the abortion drug mifepristone at pharmacies or through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. The High Court is allowing it while a lawsuit plays out in lower courts. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 426 points. The NASDAQ off more than 460 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, and where to go, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck
Hometown
back from
talk.
health insurance this year.
Oh, you know,
Join
yeah.
CHM today
Well,
by
hometown.
visiting
Join. Oh, Hong Kong City. I don't know. You want to look for WVBF and then hometown talk.
Political
believe
turmoil
is
continues to roil the UK. Prime Minister Keir Starmer
Oh.
on shaky ground.
Hometown talk for
Minister
WVBF.
claimed
Yeah.
power after a member
All
of
over.
his cabinet resigned, saying he didn't have confidence in the boss. Now, West Reading is the health secretary, and that's a big job in this country. Reading said that he was resigning, even
No,
though
he's
he gave
resigning.
credit to the prime minister for his efforts on the international stage.
I
particularly
give
with Iran.
Keir Starmer a week.
He said that the country
That's
was
good.
looking for.
I give Keir Starmer a week
that they
before he
were looking for
resigns.
direction.
Oh, yeah.
I give him a week.
This is
Keir
really
Starmer, the
true.
Prime Minister of Britain, he lost major
Yeah.
elections. His party did.
On the
Yeah, I
same
say
day
he is.
that another leadership contender, Angela Rayner, announced that she had bypassed a fundamental problem that she had with her leadership bid, which was that she was being investigated for tax purposes on a home sale. You can really see that Starmer's challengers are lining up to get it.
And correspondent Danica Kirkus says Starmer is wildly unpopular. News and analysis, townhall.com.
The sky is blue.
When it comes to their kids, some Pennsylvania parents favor old school at
That's
school.
obvious.
They're worried about excessive screen time in schools and are pushing educators to go back to pencils and paper. In Pennsylvania's Lower Merion School District, 600 people signing a petition asking to preserve parents' ability to opt their children out of digital devices. But it is a battle. School board members say it's not feasible to let hundreds of students opt out of technology that is essential to the curriculum. Jason Walker reporting.
A half dozen passengers from a cruise ship hit by a hantavirus outbreak have arrived in Australia for a quarantine expected to last at least 3 weeks. The jet carrying 5 Australians and 1 individual from New Zealand landed earlier today at an airbase outside Perth in Western Australia. More on these stories at townhall.com.
No, I don't want that. 33, please. Thank you. All right. Right. Good. All right. Yes, we're there. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back. So turn down the bumper music. There we go. 10:35 a.m. here. We got the last half hour of this program coming up at 11:05 a.m. this morning. It will be Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura. It's got a great lineup of guests today. So stay tuned. It's coming up in just about a half hour from now. Now, we will switch over now to our sports. Everyone enjoyed that last segment where I talked about some transportation stuff with Downeaster and New York City, and sprinkled out a little bit of a food recommendation in there for Katz Deli. If you're listening in and have been to Katz Deli on the in Lower Manhattan there on the east side, give us a call, 508-822-1106. Katz Deli, amazing spot to get hot pastrami sandwiches, in my opinion. But what was your experience there? If you've went to Katz Deli and happen to be listening here, 508-822-1106 is the number to call. All right, our sports now here. This week's a very important week in golf. It is the PGA Championship this week in Pennsylvania, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, here for the PGA Championship. Currently, you got a tie right now. No one's in the lead as the second round has begun. It is in progress. A name to watch is Scotty Scheffler, who is on the green right now. He's participating in his second round. But no one really is in the lead yet. It's all like a tie. Several golfers at 3 under right now. So not much to talk about yet. There doesn't those early rounds, it takes a while for a clear winner to really kind of to show, to really kind of those scoreboards to really shake out and you get a clear winner right around, the third and the fourth rounds. Those first 2 rounds are more like a feeling out process, especially the first round is a feeling out process. Unless a golfer has a really good round and is up by several, then it's kind of more of a feeling out process there. The NFL schedule is out as of last night. The Patriots, quickly go over what their schedule will look like. The Patriots will take on the Seahawks in week number 1. That is a Super Bowl rematch. And the New England Patriots do not. They do. They have a pretty strong schedule here. A tough second half as well, what I was looking at. The Chicago Bears have the toughest schedule in the league, with the Browns having the easiest. So that is pretty interesting. But the 2026 schedule, let's take a look at that right now. The preseason starts on August 13th for the Patriots. They'll take on the Colts, 7:30 p.m. start. I'm assuming that it's probably a Thursday night game. Let me take a quick look at that. August 13th. That is a Thursday night game. Yes, it is. Then, August 22nd, it is the Eagles versus the Patriots. That should be a big game. Then it's the Patriots versus the Browns. So 2 home games for the Patriots, 1 against the Eagles, 1 against the Colts, and then the Browns will take on the Patriots at home August 27th. Then the season starts again, as I mentioned. Week 1, a night game on prime time, 8:20 p.m. start. Patriots versus Seahawks, the Super Bowl rematch. So that is going to be a big matchup. And then the schedule doesn't get that easier after that. It's the Steelers next. That's going to be September 20th at 1 p.m. Then they have the Jaguars after that in Jacksonville. That's going to be a tough one on the 27th of September. Then they got the Bills. Then they have the new look Raiders with Mendoza potentially as quarterback. Which that might be an interesting game as well. That's October 11th. Then they have the Jets on the 18th. The Bears on the 22nd, who are very good. Then that's it for October. November 1st, they'll take on the Dolphins. The 8th of November, they'll be at home to take on the Packers. Then traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions on the 15th. The 29th, they'll take on the Chargers. Then December the 6th, it's the Bills again. Vikings on the 10th. So that's a very quick turnaround on the 6th to the 10th. Very quick turnaround. 2 games in 4 or 5 days. Then the Chiefs on the 21st of December. The 27th, they'll take on the Jets. The 3rd of January, they'll take on the Broncos. And then January 10th, we'll finish the season, the regular season, off with a home game against the Miami Dolphins. So that is your schedule for the New England Patriots. That's a pretty tough schedule, if I'm being honest with everybody. I suspect the Patriots will do good. I really do. Maybe 11 or 12 wins, maybe 10 at the worst. I think they will make the playoffs. We will see what happens post June 1st. If A.J. Brown joins this team is going to be much better than what they are now on paper. A.J. Brown will add a lot for this team if he joins the team post June 1st. So we'll find out in a couple of weeks. Now, with the NBA, quick update with the NBA. The Thunder have moved on to the Western Conference Final, and so have the New York Knicks. The Thunder await either the Spurs or the Timberwolves. The Spurs can close it out tonight at 9:30 p.m. In Game 6 against the Timberwolves, which I think they will. And the Pistons versus the Cavaliers. Either of those teams will go on to face the New York Knicks. I feel like the Pistons can still win this series. They have to have a good Game 6 tonight. They are on a verge of elimination here against the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers could pull off the upset as well. That would be a very interesting Eastern Conference final. I think this is New York's year when it comes to at least making the NBA Finals. Winning it, it's a different story. Especially if it's the Thunder they have to face. The Thunder are on a mission this season. They have not lost a game in the playoffs. They're on a mission. It's going to be very tough for any team to beat the Thunder. I think they have a really good shot at repeating. I really do. Now for the NHL. Moving on to the NHL, the playoffs. On the Western Conference side, the final is set. It is the Avalanche taking on the Golden Knights. That series will begin on May 20th. The Hurricanes are still awaiting either the Sabres or the Canadiens. That is a series that could end tomorrow night if Montreal defeats Buffalo. I have a feeling this will go to Game 7, though. I really do. I have a feeling this will go to Game 7. We'll see what happens in this game. We'll see what happens in this series. It's been a fun series so far. Montreal has the advantage. We'll have to see what happens. I think the Hurricanes can beat either of those two teams. But, again, this is a situation, like I just mentioned with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Avalanche are a team that has been extremely good in the playoffs. They've only lost one game so far in the playoffs. A sweep in the first round and then winning in 5 in the second round. They, I think, will take care of business against the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights will make it a series, but I think the Avalanche will take care of business and make the final. Who makes the final in the East? I think it's kind of anyone's game right now. Kind of like the NBA. It's anyone's game. So there you go. There's your updates on that. Now for the MLB here. Let's give you an update on what's happening tonight for the MLB. Tonight is Friday. Games get underway at 6:40 p.m. The Red Sox, the one everyone cares about there, that'll get underway at 7:15 p.m. in Atlanta. The Red Sox have traveled to Atlanta. They'll be taking on the Atlanta Braves tonight, 7:15 p.m. start. And this is going to be a tough series. This is a tough 3-game series for the Red Sox. I don't know how the Red Sox are going to do here. I'd love to see a Chris Sale matchup against the Red Sox. We'll have to see if that happens in this series or it's going to be the series coming up later on in the month when the Braves are here in Boston, or here in Fenway. We'll have to see what happens there with that. But the Braves are 30-14. That's a league best. The Red Sox just came off a really hard series with the Phillies, which I think they left a lot of opportunities on the table to win games here. Really the only player that even played remotely well for the Phillies, and he was the one that carried the Phillies to 2 wins, I think, in my opinion, was Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is having a ridiculous season. 18 home runs, 30 RBIs for him. Just an absolutely ridiculous season for him so far. And really the sole reason in my opinion at least, that the Phillies won 2 out of 3 games. Take them out of the lineup, and the Phillies have that performance that they had, they lose the series. So the Red Sox left a lot of opportunities on the table, unfortunately. A lot of close games in that series. Pitching wasn't bad, just the offense wasn't there. The offense was not there, and that's kind of been the name of the game, honestly, for the Red Sox all season long, is that the offense is just not there when they need the offense. All right, moving on to the minor leagues here, and then we'll take our last commercial break, and then we will finish the show off with a couple of local things as well. Our minor league baseball update for today, May 15th, 2026. The Worcester Red Sox will take on the Buffalo Bison. That is going to be an interesting game. 6:05 p.m. first pitch. Other games to watch as well. Syracuse takes on Scranton Wilkes-Barre. That is Mets versus Yankees affiliate there. Other updates as well to keep an eye on. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp takes on Memphis. 8:05 p.m. Eastern tonight. The late game tonight is at 10:05 p.m. and it's Sugarland taking on Tacoma. That is 7:05 Pacific, 10:05 Eastern. In AA, the Altoona Curve, who are starting to heat up as well. I remember talking about them early on in the season, and they were really struggling early on in the season. The first 15 games or so, they were really struggling. And these next 15 games or so, they have definitely done much better. 13-23. They're taking on Harrisburg tonight at 6 p.m. in Altoona. Portland takes on Hartford tonight at 7:10 p.m. in Hartford, Connecticut. Portland's been doing well in the series so far. Another game to watch as well for AA. It is also the Mets and the Yankees affiliates in AA facing off against each other. Binghamton being the Mets affiliate, Somerset being the Yankees affiliate. That's a 6:35 p.m. start in Somerset, New Jersey. The late game is a couple of late 8:05 p.m. start games. It's Arkansas taking on their in-state rival, Northwest Arkansas. It's 8:05 p.m. start. Wichita and San Antonio. And then Amarillo and Corpus Christi, also at 8:05 p.m. In High A, the early game is Everett and Vancouver. That's a 1:05 p.m. Pacific start, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Then you get to Greenville. They continue a series with Bowling Green. They had a really bad 15-game stretch, the Greenville Drive have had. 6:45 p.m. start tonight. They currently sit at 14-22, which I believe is the worst record out of any of the Red Sox organization teams. The late game tonight is at 9:35 p.m. It is Hillsborough taking on Spokane. That is coming up as well. And Single A tonight. We have Salem taking on Fredericksburg. Salem Ridgejacks, the Single A affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. 6:35 p.m. start in Fredericksburg. The late game is going to be 10:05 p.m. start. It's Inland Empire. They play in San Bernardino, California, but they're in Stockton for this one. Stockton, California. They take on the Stockton Ports at 10:05 p.m. Eastern, 7:05 p.m. Pacific. So that is your sports update for today. We'll be right back here on Hometown Talk in just a moment.
At restaurants, when it comes to great food and in-house operations, you you've got it down to a science. But when it comes to online marketing and delivery, Devour Now has got you covered. Devour Now has 0% commission, no setup cost, and the delivery solution you've been hoping for. Go to getdevournow.com to request a demo and to get started today. That's getdevournow.com. Commission-free online marketing, ordering, and delivery.
Voices of Our Region is a live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped southeastern Massachusetts. It's hosted by Louie Laura Fridays and airs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at AM 1530 and 99.7 FM WVBF. Join Louie for some great hometown conversations, stories, and interviews with people about the traditions that continue to define our area. That's Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on your hometown radio station, WVBF.
Hi, Joey.
Hello. All right. Okay, and we are back. I turned down the bumper music. There we go. We got about 7 or so minutes left in the program. About 6 minutes left in the program now. Coming up next in just about 10 minutes or so, it is Louie Laura with Voices of Our Region. He's got a great group of guests on today, so stay tuned for that in just a couple of minutes. About 10 minutes from now, Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura. So that's coming up in just a few minutes time here. Now, switching over now to a couple more community announcements of sorts. A lot of weekend events happening this weekend, and some of them here we're going to talk about. Might not get to all of these, but we're going to talk about a couple of them here with the couple minutes we have left. There's an electronics recycling event tomorrow at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Anne's Parish, parking lot 675 North Main Street in Raynham. What you can bring and the cost to you to bring these items. For $5 each, computer towers, laptops, DVD players, VCRs, small printers, radios, alarm clocks, speakers, etc. Holiday lights as well, frying pans, and much more there. $10 each. Small household appliances, vacuum cleaners, ceiling fans, floor lamps, toaster ovens, air fryers, keyboard pianos, ice makers, small garbage disposal, and car seats for $10 each. $20 each. Flat screen computer monitors, microwaves, air conditioners, water coolers, large printers, fire extinguishers, and propane tanks that are empty. So that's for $20 each. $25 each. TVs up to 26 inches, CRT monitors, outdoor grills, and a dorm-sized refrigerator. $30 each. TVs between 26 and 35 inches, white goods, washing machines, dryers, stoves, dishwashers, large yard equipment, exercise equipment, snow blowers, lawn mowers, rototillers, large generators, and water tanks. $35 each. TVs over 36 inches, large refrigerators, and ride-on mowers. And for $40 each, projection TVs. Cash is preferred, Venmo checks over $30. Free. These are the items that are free with cash donations appreciated. Bicycles, reusable. Cell phones, keyboards, tablets, video game, media, accessories, wires, cables, batteries, chargers, DVDs. All towns are welcome, rain or shine. Questions, business, cleanouts, or event hosting, contact greendayrecyclingma@gmail.com. So that is coming up tomorrow. Also coming up every Saturday this month. So Saturday is tomorrow. So this is coming up tomorrow. Free yard waste drop off all month for the city of Taunton every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Convenience Center, 330 East Britannia Street. Drop off your leaves, grass clippings, and branches for free. That's coming up every Saturday. If you have any questions, you can call the DPW at 508-821-1431. Again, that event happening every Saturday this month in May. Mass DOT will be holding a Touch a Truck May 16th, which is tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If it rains tomorrow, the rain date will be the 30th of May. 1000 County Street, Taunton. See tractors, dump trucks, bucket trucks, flatbeds, there we go, and more. The family-friendly event will be held at Mass DOT offices throughout the state, including Lenox, Northampton, Worcester, Tewksbury, Taunton, and Milton. Swing by District 5 Taunton. Location is at 1000 County Street this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's coming up as well. And we'll talk about one more event. We have time for one more event to talk about as well here in Lakeville. Local community members, businesses, and organizations are set to come together for the 4th annual Lakeville Day. That is Sunday, the 17th of May, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Ted Williams Camp, which is located at 28 Precinct Street. The day's festivities will feature live music, various shopping vendors, and a food truck. This event is brought to you by Lakeville Park Commission. For further details, please reach out to mmmsturco1@gmail.com. So there you go. That'll do it for today's program. I hope everyone enjoyed today's program. I will be back with another edition of Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk, next Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Until then, I'll be back on the air with another edition of Middleborough in Review, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., and then Middleborough Matters, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Monday. But until then, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and bye-bye.
We are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleborough, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleborough Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
We're on time. We're on time. You been having fun?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You know what I find, my friend, is finding sponsors.
Yeah?
Nobody has money.
Oh.
So I got to sell this program for a while.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll get some